Okay, page 2. Okay, now here we're still looking for the pattern. Now on number 9, you're given a graph. There's two ways you can do this. You can either take the 2 points, or take 2 points on the graph, and then just find the change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this point, and then the next point is here where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, there's a point down here. You can use that one, but you know it's pretty far away, and the closer it is, the less mistakes you'll make. So I'll do both. So going from this point to this point, I have to go down 2, so minus 2, and I have to go right 1. So the slope, again, is the change in y over the change in x. But then simplify it, and we get negative 2. Okay? That's the same thing. They're both the same slope. They're both somewhat simplified, but this is the most simplified. Okay? The other way you can do this is go from the point on the top all the way down to the point in the bottom. Okay? So now to do that, I have to count all the way from there to here. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down 6. And then from here, 1, 2, 3, right 3. So then it's negative 6 over 3. And that simplifies to 6 divided by 3 is 2. Negative divided by positive, negative. Same thing. Or there's another way you can do this, is take the 2 points that you're given, negative 1 and 4, and then the 2 and negative 2, and then do the same thing that we did in the problem before on the last video, which is you find the change in the y. 4 to negative 2 is minus 6. Okay, negative 1 to positive 2 is positive 3, and we get 6 over 3, and it's the same thing over again. Okay, so now we're going to do that same thing with number 10. Take the point, take one of the points, put it onto the other. Doesn't matter which one goes on top, by the way. Okay, so from negative 3 to negative 8, that's going to be minus 5, because we're going from a smaller negative to a bigger negative, which means we're going down. And then from 6 to 4, we're going down to 4, so that's minus 2. So we get negative 5, change in y, over change in x, negative 2. But the negative divided by negative is a positive. So it's going to be positive 5 over 2. Excuse me. Okay, now, same thing here. Put the 3, 7 underneath. And let me move this out of the way. Oops. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so now change in y. Well, from 7 to 7, there is no change, so it's 0. The change from negative 1 to 3 is we're going up 4 plus 4. Again, the change in y is 0 over the change in x, 4. But 0 over 4, or 0 over any number, is just 0. Okay? Now just remember, now let's say that there was change in 0 on the left, right? What if it was like this? We have positive 2, 8, and then positive 2, 4, right? So then that would be this. Change in y, negative 4. Change in x, 0. So then it would be negative 4 over 0. But you cannot have 0 in the denominator. So we call this undefined. So you can write that symbol, undefined, with a little line going through it, or just write undefined. Okay? Because we cannot have slope in our denominator. Okay. Now this one. What it's asking you to do is to, given these 2 points, graph it perfectly. Then complete a table with at least 5 points. So what we need to do is first let's graph those points. So negative 4, 2. So we go left 4, up 2. Then negative 3, 6. Left 3, up 6. So we can see that we're going from this point to that point. We need to know the slope in order to graph this perfectly, because we want more points. So go from here to here, we're going to go Let me use a different color. 1, 2, 3, 4, up 4, and then right 1. So that's what we're going to use to complete our pattern. So we're going to go up 4, right 1. Okay. Now we've run out of room going that way, so we have to go back down the other way. We go down 4, so I'm counting 4 squares, then left 1. There's a point. Let's do it in red this time. Down 4, left 1. Down 4, left 1. Okay? And I'll finish it by doing all green. Okay, so green there, green there, green there. And now just complete your line by connecting the dots. Now my line isn't very straight just because I'm on a tablet surface. If you're doing the test, use a ruler. Make it nice. Okay, so now we got a completed table. To do that, you take one of these points, it doesn't matter which one. Let's do the negative 3 and 6. And you're going to put it in the table. Remember, x goes on top, y on the bottom. And now we have to finish with at least 5 points. Now the table has 7 slots, so we only need to do 5. So what we need to do is follow the slope. The slope, we already found that. It's over here, 4 over 1. Okay, so the change in the x is 1. Okay, that's the number on the bottom. Change in the y is 4. So that's the pattern we're going to follow. If we're going by 4 here, it's plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. Okay, and the change in the x is plus 1. So we're starting in negative, so to go plus, we're going to some negatives get smaller. Plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Okay? And that's how you do that. And then you can put your slope over here, 4 over 1. Okay? Now, next question asks you to identify the slope, meaning you're going to say whether the slope is positive. You can just write the word positive. You're going to say, is it negative? Is the slope 0? Or is the slope undefined? Those are your options. Okay? So in the first one, we're just given the equation. And the slope is 1/2. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for, is it positive, negative, 0, or undefined? In this case, 1/2 is positive. So it's just positive. That's it. Okay, here, we need to find the slope. Some of you guys might already see the answer. But here, let's find the change in the y. 6 to 11. It's plus 5. And then from negative 2 to negative 2, there's no change, so it's 0. But remember, the change in the y, the number on the right, goes first. The change on the x, the number on the left, goes next. So 5 over 0, it's not 0. Remember, a number on the bottom in the denominator is undefined. Okay? Just remember, some of you guys get mixed up. Even though you have 0 on the left, you guys do this. You still put 0 on the top. But that's not what it's supposed to be. Okay, that was the problem on the top of this page, where you had 0 on the right, so that goes on the top. And the number on the left, so that goes on the bottom. And that equals 0. But as soon as you have the number in the numerator and a 0 in the denominator on the bottom, you have undefined. Okay? This last one, this line is going decreasing, because remember from left to right. So decrease, meaning the slope is negative. And again, guys, you can just write negative. You can just write it out. You don't have to do the symbols. Or whatever you guys prefer. Okay? Either way is acceptable. Oops, I totally spelled that wrong. Undefined. There we go. Okay, that was page 2. Go to the next video for page 3.